Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel where we bring you the most intimate, revealing stories from inside Britain's royal family, stories that go far beyond the polished smiles and elegant gowns. Today, we're stepping quietly behind the palace doors to explore a departure that might look minor on the surface, but which carries deep emotional weight for the Princess of Wales. Because this isn't just about a change in staff. It's about the end of a fiercely loyal chapter and what that might mean for Catherine as she navigates her most vulnerable season yet. So, pour yourself a cup of tea and stay with us. If you enjoy these detailed, human glimpses into royal life, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It truly helps us continue to bring you these carefully researched stories. Now, let's dive in. A subtle shockwave has just rippled through Kensington Palace. After 15 years of near-invisible devotion, Natasha Archer, known affectionately as Tash, is leaving the service of Prince William and Princess Catherine. On paper, Natasha's exit might sound like just another staffing update, the sort that slips through palace briefings with a tidy line wishing her well. But the reality, insiders whisper, is quite different. Because this is a goodbye loaded with personal history, emotional dependency, and a tender grief that only Catherine can truly understand. It all began back in 2010, when a young Natasha, bright-eyed and impeccably discreet, joined the household of the then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge as a personal assistant. Those were the early days of William and Catherine's marriage, when Catherine was still learning the unspoken codes of royal life, when she was finding her feet under the relentless glare of the world's cameras. And from almost the very first day, Natasha became more than an assistant. She became Catherine's shadow, her soft buffer against the sharp edges of public scrutiny. Through years of royal tours, glittering gala dinners, and the raw, tender moments inside maternity wards, Natasha was there. She wasn't just arranging schedules or booking hotels, she was soothing nerves, smoothing hems, tucking stray wisps of hair, placing a quiet reassuring hand on Catherine's back before she stepped into a roar of flashbulbs. Who could forget Catherine's first international tour as a new duchess, where every dress, every angle was scrutinized for signs of regal perfection? Or those tense hours outside the Lindo wing, as crowds waited breathlessly for the first glimpse of Prince George? Natasha was there in the background then too, ensuring every delicate piece fell exactly into place: the car seat, the understated blue dress, the tenderly chosen jewelry that signaled both new motherhood and continuity with Diana's memory. And that's what makes this departure so deeply felt. Because for Catherine, Natasha wasn't simply staff. She was the quiet friend who packed up bouquets and handwritten notes after Catherine's major abdominal surgery just last year, who carried them out of the clinic with stoic care so the princess wouldn't have to see how many flowers were from strangers who might never truly understand her private battle. Natasha was the one who quietly adjusted Catherine's posture before a tense state banquet, who took countless secret phone calls about last-minute hemline emergencies, who stayed up nights coordinating seamstresses on 3 continents. And perhaps most importantly, she was the one who never leaked. Never betrayed confidences. Never sought the limelight. When news broke that Natasha is leaving to start her own private consultancy, many insiders felt a protective pang for Catherine. Because while the palace line is warm that Natasha leaves on the very best of terms, with Catherine and William's gratitude and blessings, those close to the princess admit this isn't just a tidy HR transition. It's an emotional wound. After all, who replaces the person who learned your tears on the first overseas trip you nearly cancelled out of sheer overwhelm? Who understood the exact tilt of a hat that balanced elegance and accessibility so Catherine didn't look too aristocratic, but also not too casual? Who remembered the precise shade of lipstick that wouldn't transfer onto little Prince Louis's cheek in family portraits? Just weeks ago, Natasha made what many now recognize as a subtle farewell appearance, stepping into the royal box at Wimbledon alongside Catherine's eldest daughter, Princess Beatrice. Dressed in a sophisticated black and white Alessandra rich polka dot dress, she mirrored the understated confidence that had become Catherine's signature. The royal box is reserved for the inner sanctum of royal trust, and there was Natasha, not hidden behind clipboards or headsets, but gently taking her place among the family she'd served so faithfully. A small, elegant nod to her years of devotion. Her story is even richer when you look back further. Before ever becoming Catherine's right hand, Natasha cut her teeth with the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, learning the labyrinth of royal protocols from the inside out. By the time she joined William and Catherine, she brought a depth of palace savvy that's almost impossible to teach. In 2019, she received the Royal Victorian Order, a personal honor from Prince William that's awarded not for flashy achievements, but for quiet, steadfast service to the crown. Those who've worked around the royals say Natasha wept that day, not out of ambition, but from the simple relief of being recognized after so many invisible hours of labor. Natasha's partnership with her husband, royal photographer Chris Jackson, added a poetic symmetry to her royal chapter. While she curated the princess's most iconic looks, he was often the one immortalizing them through his lens. Together, they shaped how the world sees the modern monarchy: polished, warm, stylish but never aloof. And now she's stepping away, at a time when Catherine needs trusted anchors more than ever. As the princess continues her slow, carefully managed return to public life after her health crisis, Natasha's absence will echo in ways the public might never see. Because for Catherine, Natasha wasn't just someone who managed calendars and call sheets. She was the one who anticipated every tremor of doubt before stepping onto a global stage. The one who could slip Catherine a tissue under the table at a charity luncheon when emotion overwhelmed her, who knew exactly how to pace a day so the princess didn't grow faint or overextended. The one who, more than perhaps anyone else, protected Catherine's privacy and dignity at moments when she felt most fragile. So yes, the official statements are gracious and upbeat. Yes, Natasha leaves to start an exciting new venture, and Catherine and William are said to be hugely supportive. But behind those polished words is a very human story of loss. Of a princess who, for over a decade, leaned on one quiet woman to help her look effortless even when inside, she was anything but. Natasha's departure also subtly shifts the landscape of Kensington Palace. In royal circles, trust is currency. Staff who earn it stay for decades, often becoming surrogate family. When they leave, it creates ripples that reach far beyond their official duties. Who now will be there to discreetly intercept intrusive questions from foreign media on tour? Who will make the emergency wardrobe dash when unexpected rain soaks the princess's meticulously chosen ensemble? Who will stand at the palace gates at midnight, smoothing over misunderstandings with local police when crowds surge beyond expected numbers? Perhaps these sound like small matters. But in the high-stakes theater of royalty, where every image is archived, every smile analyzed for hidden meaning, it's precisely these tiny interventions that protect the monarchy's most vulnerable members from collapse under relentless scrutiny. For William and Catherine, Natasha's leaving is also a reminder of how few people truly know them beyond the ceremonial. Insiders say Catherine trusted Natasha so deeply that she once told her, during a grueling multi-city tour, "You're the only one who knows what this really takes." That bond isn't easily replaced. Outside the palace walls, royal watchers might only see Catherine's luminous grace at state banquets, her warm crouch to meet a nervous child at a hospice, the serene confidence at trooping the color. But behind all of that stood Natasha Archer, ensuring the princess could shine without worrying that her hair was collapsing in damp air or that the necklace clasp was straining. So what happens now? Kensington Palace will no doubt bring in another senior aide. Someone polished, discreet, eminently professional. But they won't be Natasha. They won't carry a decade of Catherine's whispered fears and triumphs in their memory. They won't immediately know the tiny cues: a slight purse of Catherine's lips that means her shoes are pinching, a sudden stillness that signals the beginnings of nausea or fatigue. And Catherine, ever the consummate professional, will smile just as brightly. She will wave with the same gentle confidence. But somewhere inside, there will be a small, private ache for the quiet guardian who helped her learn to carry the crown's invisible weight. It's a poignant close to a chapter. But it's also a testament to Natasha herself. Because to leave this family with their blessing, with their hearts full of thanks rather than strained by scandal or betrayal, that is the true measure of success in royal service. Quiet loyalty. Total discretion. A legacy that lives on, not in headlines, but in the steady confidence of a princess who knows she was never alone. And so, as Natasha Archer steps away from palace life into the bright unknown of her new consultancy, we're left with a simple truth: sometimes the most powerful figures in the royal story are the ones whose names the public barely knows. What do you think, dear viewers? Does this mark a vulnerable moment for Catherine as she steps forward without one of her most trusted allies? Or do you believe the princess has now grown strong enough to weather any storm, with or without Natasha at her side? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We truly love reading your perspectives. And if you found this story meaningful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more royal deep dives, and ring that bell so you never miss an update from inside the palace. Thank you so much for watching.